That's different. It looks a little weird, I know. Well, we're trying out a brand new series. It is called Before They're Fiction. On here, we're going to talk about fictional characters, their origin and creation stories. Today, we got Dracula for you guys. Now, there is a channel made for these videos, so if you like what you see, be sure to head over there and subscribe. Now, let's watch that video.
Take a look at this. You gotta be kidding me.
Before Dracula would become one of the best known classic novels in history, inspiring countless knockoffs like Count Chocula, Mr. Burns, and the Count from Sesame Street.
Three fabulous flyers!
Before he would be featured in over 200 movies being portrayed by the likes of Bela Lugosi, Gerard Butler, and even Adam Sandler.
Welcome to Hotel Transylvania! It's a place I built for all those monsters.
Before the classic villain would be pitted against some surprising heroes, including Batman and the gang from Scooby-Doo.
You stop that. We have permission to visit this castle.
No! This is your last warning.
A lot of people believe that Bram Stoker based the character of Dracula on Vlad Dracula, the Romanian prince who is better known as Vlad the Impaler. Although Dracula's namesake was a vicious killer rumored to drink the blood of his enemies, the character seems to have come from more than just Vlad. Brad's influences likely included Jack the Ripper, older vampire stories, and even eating too much seafood. Yeah, that's right. You heard me correctly. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael Credden, documenting the origin story of Dracula, here for you on Before They Were Fiction. As we do on our show Before They're Famous, we want you guys to recommend who we should document next in the comments down below. And we do all sorts of crazy characters here, from TV, from film, from video games, from movies, comic books, all that good stuff. Let us know who's next, you know where.
Now that you have learned what you have learned, it would be well for you to return to your own country.
Abraham Stoker, otherwise known as Bram Stoker, was born in Dublin, Ireland on November 8, 1847. As a young child, he was bedridden with an unknown but very serious illness until he was 7 years old. I don't want to sound like a terrible person and say it was a good thing, but while he was confined to bed, his active imagination provided him with ideas he claims inspired him years later. So we can all guess what potentially may have come out of those years of illness. One of the greatest horror characters of all time.
With imagination, I can be anything I want. A pirate. Arr. A football player. Hup.
A starfish!
Of course, Dracula was not just pulled out of thin air. There were a variety of different things that influenced his creation. First off, Dracula's home, the region of Transylvania, is believed to sit on one of the strongest magnetic fields on Earth. And the common folklore is that this magnetic field may cause residents of Transylvania to acquire strange powers. Maybe of the immortal, blood-sucking variety? That's just my hunch.
If you want to see the real vampire, look in the mirror.
I can't! I'm a vampire!
According to Bram's son, Irving Stoker, the first and foremost reason Dracula was created was because he appeared to Bram in a nightmare after eating too much crab. Thank God for seafood! Actually, I had crabs once, and I didn't come up with nothing. Like, I ate crabs. Let's move on. To pursue this big bad crab-fueled character, Bram had some research to do. There had been vampires before the time of Dracula, and Stoker drew on some of these for his inspiration. These included one of the earliest vampire works, Carmelia, about a lesbian vampire who preyed on young women, and Varney the Vampire, a Victorian-era vampire who set the standard for vampires with long fangs, superhuman strength, and hypnotic powers.
Drink and join me in eternal life.
I just feel like I got hypnotized, I lost my train of thought. Alright, I'm gonna pause things right there. If you guys want to watch the rest of that video, well, you can go and find it on the channel Before They're Fiction and hit subscribe. Cool? What? No, you're mad at me now? Okay, we'll roll the rest of the video, but do go over there and hit subscribe. We're pumping out a new video each and every week, and when you guys comment and ask us who to do next, we'll get it done. Just like this, but a little different. So go subscribe, here's the rest of the video. Thanks. Stoker spent a long time researching the history and legends of Transylvanian folklore, especially on frequent visits to the English town of Whitby. One book by William Wilkinson was called The Account of Principalities of Wallachia and Moldavia, with political observation relative to them. And I'm pretty sure that that title was longer than the actual book. Took me a few takes just to get through it. Sorry, editor. Wallachia, Wallachia, Wallachia. Wallachia.
Man, fuck this shit.
Wallachia and Moldavia. Wallachia. Anyway, the book was apparently as boring as the title, but the biggest thing to come out of it was Dracula's name. The character was originally going to be called a vampire with a W, which is pretty lame, you have to admit, until Stoker came across the word Dracula in the book, which meant devil from these parts. It can also be translated to bad blood in Gaelic, you know, the Irish national language.
The Irish people I've met, you can't understand a single word they say. Yeah, they're like, "Are you and then you realize you're all pirates.
Bram might have also drawn upon a number of his contemporaries to create the character. He probably had his boss, the famous actor Henry Irving, in mind to play the character. Physical features seem to have been drawn from Walt Whitman, and the infamous serial killer Jack the Ripper was a likely inspiration, especially since Braun might actually have had dinner with that guy. For real. Now, Dracula was also said to be partly inspired by one of the best known figures in Romanian history, Vlad Dracula, also known as Vlad the Impaler. Vlad was born in 1431 and his father's name was Dracula. Dracula meant son of Dracula and could also be translated to son of the dragon or son of the devil, so it's no surprise that vampire rumors grew off of this. Dracula lived in a time of constant war between Transylvania and the Ottoman Turks. He became the ruler of Wallachia and Transylvania and quickly became merciless towards his enemies, oftentimes impaling hundreds at a time and dipping his bread into blood when he ate. This guy did not play around when it came to war. He also started eating that blood. Yeah, makes sense.
What he wanted to do was to establish the fact that he was the absolute ruler, and what better absolute ruler is it than to be godlike?
However, Stoker himself never confirmed this inspiration, and many speculate that the two didn't even have any connection, but it does seem extremely coincidental. It'd be a lot easier to find out if Stoker was still alive. We could just hit him on the Twitter or something and find out for real. Sadly, that isn't the case. Taking all these things into consideration, a household horror name was born. In his early human life, Dracula was a great soldier and scientist with a brilliant mind. He studied the black arts at the Academy of Scolamons in the Carpathian Mountains. Later on, he joined the Romanian army and led them in war against the Turks. How he became a vampire is never explicitly told in the novel, however it is believed that the soldier made a deal with the dark forces in return for immortality. Unaware of the alienation and isolation that would follow, it's a lonely life at the top of the food chain.
Welcome to my home.
The novel Dracula was released in 1897. At first it wasn't a bestseller, but with time and continuous praise, it reached the ranks as one of the most iconic and classic tales there is. As for the rest of the story, well, you know the story because this is Before They're Fiction. Alright, so there you have it. There is Dracula Before They're Fiction. Let us know what you think about it. We could put more of these on the main channel, but we think they look good on their own on a different channel. Because some people are like, I'm here for Nicki Minaj, and Sasquatch don't look like her. So this is what we came up with. Let us know if you like it. Be sure to subscribe and we'll see you guys in another video. Alright, that was a bad Sasquatch Nicki Minaj joke. I gotta work on that.